presentation was paid for by CGTN. The opinions, views, and claims expressed are those of CGTN and may not necessarily reflect those of CNBC.
Economy, innovation, culture, exploration. Discover the vibrant pulse of China's economy and dive into the rich tapestry of its culture. Embark on a journey of exploration with Meet China. Here, your journey begins.
Hello and welcome to Meet China. I'm Taran He. Now, with a population of over 1.4 billion people, China has no shortage of stories waiting to be told. And in this series, we hope to offer you a glimpse into the heart of this remarkable country. In today's episode, we bring you 3 diverse stories of turning a passion for plants into a profitable venture, ancient Chinese mythology into modern movie marvel, and mouth-watering food, and yes, giant pandas. For many people, plants and flowers are just a way to brighten the home or mark a special occasion. But with China's rise as the world's largest producer of flowers and a budding domestic retail market, we visited plant enthusiasts in Chengdu, southwest China, to find out how they're turning their lifelong love of plants into blooming businesses.
Plants changed their lives.
I think it is hard to make a living doing my first job.
It could be business,
Being in my desired field means that losing money doesn't equate to failure.
but not just a business.
The difficulties and challenges we face are just a small part of nature.
How long can a person spend on plants in a day?
24.
24. You don't sleep, right?
I don't sleep.
Sometimes, before you know it, you've committed your whole life.
62 years.
All of these stories are happening in Chengdu.
The Horti Expo 2024 in Chengdu is running for 186 days. And finally, I got a chance to come here and to take a look around. And we can see that even it's a rainy day, the visitors shows no signs of changing their plans.
China is the world's largest flower producer. The total retail market size of China's flower industry reached nearly 200 billion yuan in 2022. The expo covers an area of 250 hectares. That's indeed vast, and every bouquet conceals the robust power of the flower economy. You can find all sorts of things, from technical advancement to things that bring aesthetic enjoyment.
But the most important thing here is the relationships you can build with other flower lovers. Oh my God, everyone, look at this. This is so breathtaking. Can you imagine working in such a great garden?
Qiu Yamin, affectionately known as Hai Ma by her fans, is a gardening blogger with tens of millions of followers across the internet. She is also the founder of Hades Gardens Agricultural Company.
Ever since the Horticultural Expo has been held in Chengdu, I have felt greatly inspired. After over a decade of working in gardening, it feels as if I've suddenly opened my pathways. So I'm no longer afraid. In the past, I often felt anxious and uncertain about whether I was doing the right thing. Now, we can sense that home gardening has officially become mainstream.
With a background in computer science, she bravely ventured into the gardening industry 16 years ago. She has evolved from her early days in a flower shop to leading a top agricultural company with an annual sales revenue of 200 million yuan. I've been following her for many years, and she presents a stunning floral fairy tale to us. How did you turn this hobby into a career?
I studied computer science, and before getting into gardening, I worked in a computer city where I had a small computer company. I'm quite a sensitive person and was very anxious about my livelihood. I felt frustrated because I sensed that the industry trends were not in our favor. This led to a lot of negative emotions, feeling anxious and sad. I discovered my childhood love for plants and wondered why I didn't pursue a plant-related endeavor.
So, what is the current scale of your company?
Our base covers about 750 acres with approximately 450 formal employees. Initially, it was just my parents and me. Our annual sales revenue is around 200 million yuan, and we serve over 10 million users each year.
What is your prediction for the future trend of China's gardening market?
Currently, Chinese home gardening is at an early stage. If you consider the progress from 1 to 100, we are in the range of 1 to 5.
What would you like to say to those young or middle-aged individuals who want to start a business or develop their hobbies?
I've been on the path I want to pursue and have never deviated from it. So I have not experienced failure. Being in my desired field means that losing money doesn't equate to failure, and stagnation doesn't either. As long as I stick to this path and seize every opportunity that comes with the times, things will gradually improve.
Can you share your next target with us?
What I really want to do is serve more people, making it easier for them to engage in gardening and feel closer to nature. I love insects and birds, and through this connection, I hope we can see ourselves as part of nature. The difficulties and challenges we face are just a small part of that by recognizing this. We can live more freely and without burden.
This expo isn't confined to a single venue. Instead, flowers and nature is being brought to the entire city during this time of the year. While Haimao gained recognition through her exquisite Western-style gardening techniques, I also have a friend from Canada who moved to Chengdu 21 years ago, irresistibly enamored with Chinese penjing. His name is Chad Sinclair, and he's known as Bai Xiong.
This one. This is my favorite. It has movement. Like you can really feel the age. I can, imagine myself being in such a place like this, Now, I was 9 years old when I wanted to learn it. So, like kids, they wanted to play with Lego and toy guns, and I wanted to play with trees and bamboo. And so I was always a weird person.
I think it's very lucky to be, weird sometimes.
Yeah, weird is good.
What kind of lifestyle does penjing represent for you?
Artistic, relaxing, cultural, like a real deepening of bringing the Chinese culture, but with the Canadian part of my life as well. My mom and grandmother were the ones pushing me to do it, right?
Yeah.
So because of them, that's why I'm here. I am looking to sell my penjing once I get my new garden built.
Very cool. Yeah. So hope everyone can find their penjings for themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Big or small. If I could take a penjing home, this would be one of them. Or
Really?
steal it. Mr. Hu won't mind.
Yeah.
He has many.
The Mr. Hu he just mentioned is the owner of this 100 million yuan garden. And very fortunately, we met him there that day.
Hey, Mr. Hu.
胡老师，
你好。
先生您好。
How long have you been focusing on penjing?
62 years.
What is the key that has been supporting you to do this?
It's a hobby, I just like it, so I still have to keep doing it.
He's done so much for the penjing community as well, right? And then I can meet people like Mr. Hu and meet my wife, and I just met so many interesting people while staying in Chengdu. So it was a great thing for me. I posted on the social media platforms. A lot of people are going to come. They want to see the gardens, but they also want to see the penjing as well.
Being able to engage in our Sichuan-style bonsai in China for more than 20 years is not easy. I really speak highly of him.
Every time I come here, I look forward to seeing something new and all this. And hopefully one day I can come here and work for free.
Welcome!
I told you. Yeah, I know.
They ignited my passion for plants. But beyond that, they inspire me to dedicate my life to the things we truly love.
As China's flower industry continues to bloom, it's clear that passion and perseverance are the roots of success. Now, the same is true for veteran filmmaker Wuershan, who spent a decade delving into ancient Chinese mythology to build a cinematic universe that's been hailed as one of the most ambitious movie projects in Chinese history. It's been dubbed by some film critics as China's answer to Lord of the Rings. The first part of his epic fantasy trilogy, Creation of the Gods, Kingdom of Storms, was released in the summer of 2023 and went on to smash box office records.
Oracle bones stunned the world. Our written characters originated in Chinese civilization.
We'll start with the discovery of oracle bones. We're all familiar with it, right? They were unearthed in
Shaotuan village in Anyang.
There's a saying here in China that in order to understand the distant future, you have to trace back to your origins, and that's where these characters come in handy. There's also something else at play in this country, a renewed interest in ancient times. For over 3,000 years, just as it says in the Lord of the Rings films, history became legend, legend became myth. Now, Wuershan, a movie director, is striving to build China's own fantasy epic film universe. It's based on the myths of the Shang dynasty.
A great turmoil is on the horizon. So many lives were taken that a great curse fell.
And audiences were furiously racing out to see this ambitious effort to capture traditional culture and China's history.
Power of centuries-old mythological traditions and languages to draw on. You saw the inspiration, you could see the excitement, but how to create and structure a movie experience, that was a mystery.
Kingdom of Storms is the first film in the Creation of the Gods trilogy. It became a major record-breaking blockbuster in the summer of 2023. I guess you can count me among the fans. I've watched it 3 times, and now I'm going to get the chance to meet Wuershan face-to-face in his Beijing studio.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hello.
Thank you. I didn't have to think of a first question. Almost all of my Chinese friends ask me the same one. Can you ask the director, when will the sequel be released?
I'll be announcing the release of my next film soon.
All right, at this moment, it still appears to be a secret.
Let me ask about the film, because the scale, it's so epic. The costumes, the mythology, there's so many different parts to it. How difficult was it getting it all right?
The mythological epic is one of the most difficult genres in filmmaking. Then there are 3 films together to prepare, to shoot. So it takes much longer.
Well, Monkey King, hero is back.
A Chinese Odyssey. Creation of the Gods 1.
Creation of the Gods.
Like I said, I watched the film 3 times, so he was kind enough to indulge us as we played our own film, compiled of Chinese audience goers. For years, they grew up on Hollywood films, but things have changed in the largest movie market in the world. Chinese filmgoers are more discerning. They've long been calling for a Chinese-made fantasy epic, one with familiar flourishes. Wuershan delivered, and after 10 years of preparation and production, his epic landed in theaters.
I'm excited, and it's amazing.
Wonderful. It's really tempting.
Overall, it's quite fleshed out.
Chinese film market deserves a better future.
Young people love Creation of the Gods. So I've achieved my goal. I always hoped I'd have a chance to create a Chinese mythological epic. I made a 10-year plan. I spent 10 years on the script, the preparation, and the shooting. I did everything possible to get the best partners to work with me.
In Chinese film production, the art and set design for Creation of the Gods is unprecedented.
Surrealism is created within a realistic space.
I've never done such large, complex, and lengthy scenes before.
What's emphasized in traditional Eastern art isn't something that can be explained in one or two characters. It's systematic.
As to the visual aesthetic, I made a strict rule, which was that all the design and art elements in the movie must come from traditional Chinese art.
He really wants to incorporate the highest form of Chinese art into his films.
3 systems of aesthetics reveal to everyone that this is Chinese art.
2 years of research and preparation, creating 120 scenes.
120 degrees 39 minutes east, 27 degree north.
The king of all realms invests the new gods.
This trip to Zhaoge could be most treacherous.
The attention to detail paid off handsomely. The film raked in nearly $400 million at the box office, with just shy of 61 million viewers. That isn't easy to do, and to help me understand just how hard this process of making a movie is, Wuershan invited me in for one of his internal visual special effects meetings.
The perspective from that low-angle shot doesn't look right.
The direction is wrong.
They shouted from this angle first, and then from that angle. But the 2 shots show the same action. The action in the second shot repeats that in the first.
One of the great pleasures of working as an outsider on a project like this is to feel the connection, the meaningfulness and the depth of the connection. Great. Wow, well. That with Fang Shenbang, you have that moment when Chinese cinema is global cinema because Chinese cinema is global.
In the past decade, Hollywood magic has faded with Chinese audiences. They've been yearning for films that resonate with them. In 2023, Chinese domestic films dominated the box office, seizing close to 84% of the total revenues. While some might say that this is a sign that Chinese young people are becoming narrow-minded, Wuershan sees it differently.
Previously, many Chinese filmgoers may have been interested in Hollywood movies because they were curious about the outside world, and they wanted to learn about the latest technology and creativity in films. Chinese filmmakers have been getting better, and Chinese audiences are preferring domestic productions because this is the life they feel close to and most familiar with. I think it's the same for audiences all over the world. Americans prefer American films, right? This is natural.
We can always learn from each other, but the great thing is not to be kind of slavishly influenced by one or the other. Be yourself as an artist and, you know, live with your tradition and develop your own skill.
Discover the potential. Witness the opportunities. Experience dazzling exhibitions and captivating events. Explore groundbreaking innovations and future-shaping industries. Stand at the crossroads where the cities of tomorrow meet timeless traditions. Meet China, where every story is a new discovery.
Wuershan's films are visual feasts rich in Chinese history and culture, and he hopes they'll resonate with audiences both at home and abroad. Next, we head to a city known for two of China's most iconic exports. Named a UNESCO City of Gastronomy, Chengdu in southwest China is one of the birthplaces of Sichuanese cuisine, celebrated for its bold, aromatic and spicy flavors, and for dishes like mapo tofu, hot pot and kung pao chicken. It's also home to the giant panda, with several breeding centers located across the city. So join us as we show you how to make the most of your time in Chengdu. Welcome to Chengdu, capital of Sichuan province here in southwest China. This is one of China's most populated cities with roughly the same population as Mumbai or Osaka and almost twice the residents of Paris. Now this is a city that is foodie heaven. It's named UNESCO's City of Gastronomy, famed for its spicy cuisine and also home to the giant panda research base. And for visitors from over 50 different countries transiting through China, you can visit Chengdu visa-free for up to 144 hours. Sichuanese cuisine has pretty much taken over the world, and the provincial capital of Chengdu is the best place to sample its most famous dishes, starting with mapo tofu.
Meaning pockmarked grandma's tofu. This dish is a great example of the mala, or numbing and spicy flavor profile that Sichuanese food is famed for. This cuisine is bold, spicy, aromatic, and full of umami. Just make sure to have plenty of rice to soak up all that flavor.
I'm so excited to eat this. We've got the mapo tofu right here in front of me. It was sizzling away, but I've also ordered a couple more emblematic dishes from Sichuanese cuisine. Here we've got the very strangely named husband and wife lungs. It's a cold dish. We've got kung pao chicken here and twice cooked pork. So the story goes that back in 1862, there was a lady whose surname was Chen, and she had a pockmarked face, and she had a restaurant, but her tofu was absolutely stellar, and eventually, over time, the restaurant became known for its tofu, hence the name of mapo tofu. So these days, everybody knows how to make mapo tofu, and they all have different recipes, but I've come to a restaurant that is descended from Lady Chen. This is the original family who came up with this recipe. They use beef mince on top. I'm just gonna, oh wow. Oh, that is melting in your mouth good. Wow. You've got to use silken soft tofu for this dish. Very healthy serving of Sichuan peppercorn, which gives you this numbing, tingling sensation in your tongue and basically everywhere it touches in your mouth.
All that chili oil can look intimidating, but those who try Sichuanese food quickly fall in love with its addictive combination of flavors. Total price for 4 mains and a rice, less than $30.
Here we are. I know this is the reason why a lot of people come to Chengdu. We're at the Chengdu research base of giant panda breeding. It's a half-hour taxi ride from the city center, very easily accessible by subway. And of course, we're here to see the giant pandas. Ooh, I can't wait.
There are several panda bases around Chengdu, but this one is closest to the city, and it's most popular.
So the panda base is actually pretty huge, but there are lots of these nice bamboo grove line roads that, you know, maybe give you a bit of an idea of how the panda might have lived in its natural habitat. So you can take your time strolling around, or you can jump on one of the shuttle buses that you'll see zipping by every so often for just 30 yuan for the whole day.
There are hundreds of pandas here, spread out across 2 main enclosures, varying in age from cubs to fully grown adults.
There they are, there's 2 pandas right there, and there's a little panda lying on the bigger one. Oh, wow. So even though the pandas are here all year round, there are 2 time slots during which time you'll be most likely to see them. That's between 8 to 10 a.m. in the morning and 2 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon. That's when they get fed, and that's when you're most likely to see this scene in front of you. Oh, there it is. I was wondering what people are doing here. There's actually a panda right up there in the treetops. Oh, I didn't realize it could climb that high. So in the wild, pandas are omnivorous, but they mostly feed on bamboo. And here they eat about 20 to 30 kilograms of bamboo a day. They also get given a special feed made of soybeans and other grains just to enrich their diet. very lucky today. There's a little baby panda, just a couple months old, who's taking a nap on the ladder over there. There's another one over there, and it's just been taken out by one of the staff to catch a bit of sun. This sign says that the panda over there is called Nike. There are actually over 200 pandas here, so there's plenty to choose from if you want to look for your favorite panda. It's a little baby panda just lying there on the grass. It's about 1 month old, and actually most of the pandas in the world were either bred here or at another panda research center about 2 hours drive away from Chengdu. And this one right now is so young that it can just barely crawl, so it always needs the constant attention of its carers. Those are red pandas, which are actually, I think, closer to raccoons than they are to actual pandas. But it looks like it's feeding time right now, and they're so cute and fuzzy. They remind me so much of my tabby at home. If you need a place to rest your feet, there are plenty of these little canteens and rest stops dotted along the way where you can come in, grab a coffee, maybe get some souvenirs, and watch pandas going about their business from inside. Now, for the most important part of this trip, souvenirs. Literally hundreds of pandas to choose from. Got one for the daughter, one for myself, and I think maybe one for the wifey too. That's it for this edition of Meet China. Next week, we'll journey to the heart of the country to travel back in time with an immersive theatre experience. Visit a visionary Chinese chateau located in one of the country's top wine-producing regions, and explore one of the largest national parks in China, home to the headwaters of 3 of Asia's greatest rivers. Stay tuned for all that and much more on Meet China. I'm Tiran. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Discover the potential. Witness the opportunities. Experience dazzling exhibitions and captivating events. Explore groundbreaking innovations and future-shaping industries. Stand at the crossroads where the cities of tomorrow meet timeless traditions. Meet China, where every story is a new discovery.
This presentation was paid for by CGTN. The opinions, views, and claims expressed are those of CGTN and may not necessarily reflect those of CNBC.